Gilmore Girls, a year in the life. We have... Honestly, guys, you're probably thinking, why is this 19-year-old man reviewing a kind of chick flick show? And I'll tell you why. Honestly, I have been looking forward to this show. I'm not going to lie, okay? This is kind of something that, as a kid, me and my mother kind of bonded over, was Gilmore Girls. And when it was on, honestly, it was something for me and her to bond over, and we bonded since. We've seen classic movies. We've seen Marvel movies because of Gilmore Girls. I think Gilmore Girls was actually my first show where I was like, you know what? A show or a movie doesn't need to conform to one genre. Because Gilmore Girls is technically a comedy drama because it has jokes. But it also has some drama in there too. Primarily drama, that's why it's probably considered drama in your instant queue, I guess. But there is some comedic elements in there. I laughed quite a bit. Most episodes. And yes, I did see season 7, and yeah, I gotta admit, I wasn't satisfied when it ended. I mean, seasons 1 through 6 was pretty good. I mean, except for the fact that Lorelai and Rory were always had love triangles, and I hated the love triangles. I hate love triangles, period. But it was like every time, one of them had a love triangle. And yeah, in season 7, I think they exploited it a little bit too much. But then came this, Gilmore Girls, a year in the life. This is something that the creators of Gilmore Girls came about making because they wanted to end the series the way they wanted to end it. They hated season 7. They wanted to end it the way they wanted to end it. Perfectly. And, to my surprise, Gilmore Girls' Year in the Life is pretty good. Especially, I'm talking about the first episode here. I haven't seen the other 3. I'm going to later. But, I mean, dang. It's like, it's not even skipping a beat, man. It's like we're going back. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed in this show. In a year in a life. And that works for this type of show. And before we dive into it, I'm going to talk about Fuller House. Because there is a comparison here that's really, really staring at you in the face if you watch Fuller House and this. Fuller House, the cornerstone of Fuller House was the nostalgia. Without the nostalgia, the entire show would crumble apart. Okay? The stuff when the other characters, when DJ, Stephanie, and Gibbler were with the kids, living by themselves, I actually enjoyed it. It wasn't that bad. I wanted more of that, but instead, they kept on bringing back Danny, Jesse, Joey, Rebecca, all these other characters that we didn't care about. And that we need to move on from. But they kept on bringing them back. And there's a whole lot of problems with that, and it's not a review of Fuller House, this is a review of Gilmore Girls. So, Gilmore Girls, what makes Gilmore Girls work is that this is not a sequel to a show. This is a continuation of a show. And in a continuation of a show, you can't skip a beat. You gotta just jump right in and just pretend nothing's changed. And they did. Nothing has changed in this show, really. There's nothing that's out of the norm. Nothing that's like blaring at you, nostalgia or anything. This is pretty much the same type of show as we left in season 6. Season 7 can rot in hell. This season, this show, I mean, yeah, nothing's changed, which is good. It works. So, let's talk about the story, I guess. So, in the show, Lorelai's father, Richard, passed away, and there's a primarily stuff working out with her and Emily trying to cope with that fact still, and them trying to get through life, I guess. Rory trying to find her way in life too still. She's like 30 years old and she's like has 3 phones and she's always calling people and all that, and business is booming, I guess, and she's just trying to move with the crowd, I guess, with her job and whatever. And this is primarily a Kirk episode. If you remember Kirk, he was the weird guy who's always trying to get jobs, and I like him. He's my favorite character in the show, even over Rory and Lorelai. And I know they're fantastic too. But I love Kirk. Okay, Kirk is the man. I laugh every time he's on screen. Honestly, this guy is probably better than in the original show. I'm not kidding. So, yeah. Primarily focuses on that. Primarily focuses on what happened after Richard's funeral and the lead up to therapy between Emily and Lorelai. And there's, I guess let's go over the good, because then I'll explain more of the plot as in this show if I discuss the good, because there's a lot of good. There's a lot of good in this show, which is fantastic. The opening scene with Rory just sitting down and Lorelai just being like, "Oh hey, what's up?" It's like back and forth joking and all that stuff. Classic Gilmore Girls, man. This is what I remember from Gilmore Girls watching with my mom, you know? This is, I mean, it's not even skipping a beat. The script is pretty good as well. It's like, there's some foreshadowing. It's like, Rory's like, "You know what? It's been a while." And Laura's like, "Yeah, it has." Signifying the fact that, yes, the show ended. There's a new show starting. It's been a while. Foreshadowing, irony, breaking the fourth wall, kind of a little bit. There you go. It's got the same music, you know. It's got la 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 la, you know, with the guitar and all that transition music. Here's what I love about the original Gilmore Girls, okay? There's barely any music, okay? It feels like real life, this show. And they didn't skip a beat with this new show. It seems just the same. The only music that's really in the show is with the transitions. And with that la 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 la, you know? I know it's pretty bad, but still. It doesn't even skip a beat, man. It's thank you. Thank you for that. There's a ton of introductions kind of back into the show. What I love about it is that they don't make a big deal. Like in Fuller House, they made a huge deal. It's like, "Whoa!" You know, that screaming, cheering thing? That happened with every character. And if you go 7+ characters just going, "Ah!" it gets annoying. Here, nothing really seemed like that. It was just like, "Oh hey, there's the mayor. Oh hey, there's Kirk. Oh hey, there's there's Gypsy. Oh hey, there's Emily. You know, it's just like going through life like it did in the original series. Rory and Lorelai, them going through life. You do not see life through the eyes of anyone else. You only see the life of through the eyes of Lorelai and Rory. And it's seamless. It's like, hey, this is a continuation of the series. You can skip season 7 for all we care. We do not care about season 7. You do not care about season 7. Just get off season 7. And I love that too, because season 7 sucks. And I will continue saying that throughout these reviews. Honestly, because I hate season 7. Honestly, everyone is like they were in the original series. And the weird thing is, no one aged. Everyone rarely aged. Especially Emily. I mean, I thought Emily would be a lot older, I guess, in this show than she was in the original. But she looks exactly the same. And she still has the same energy that she had in the original series. And that works. That works, man. Fantastic job. There you go. Thank you for that, I guess. She puts her heart and soul into it, and yeah, it works. It works, honestly. We get a lot of other characters. I'm just gonna read them out because honestly, there's a lot, and I love every one of them. But I'm just gonna read them out, just so I don't skip over anybody. We got Kirk. He's awesome. Better than the original series. Honestly, he made me laugh all the time. Luke's back. I mean, other than Kirk, Luke would probably be my favorite character because he doesn't give a crap. Okay, he doesn't give a crap about anything. And he's the same as in the original series, okay? Although, he's a little too nice for my taste. He's a little bit nicer. Especially in this one episode, he's a little bit nicer. Maybe it's because he's with Lorelai and he's finally like at that point where he's like, okay, I finally have some meaning in my life, I guess, but I don't know, it's just not Luke. You know, Luke is always that guy who just doesn't give a crap, that guy who's just like, why me? You know? Something like that. The Gypsy, I mean, she's exactly the same as well, which is good. I like her. Emily, awesome. Again, hasn't aged a day. Fantastic right there. She's awesome. Taylor. Taylor is awesome too. He and Luke kind of bond, you know? Which is kind of nice. I kind of wanted to see them bond in the original series, and now we kind of see that happen. And it's not forced, it's actually, you know, warranted, you know? Then there's the band. Then there's the band. The band returns, and yeah, it's like not skipping a beat. It's just, here's the band. There you go. The band returns. The band returns, you know? Yeah, that's why I compliment them so much, just because they don't skip a beat. They just go right into it. Just like if the series, season finale was like 3 months ago, we're just going back, you know? This is like the season premiere. Season premiere of the final season. Which it is. And I love it for that. The sets are exactly like in the original series. I mean, it's like literally going back to Stars Hollow. There is no difference whatsoever, really. Except in the first, like, I'm gonna say 10 to 15 minutes, it really looks new. it looks like a Netflix show. You know, you got the crisp colors, you got the crisp camera work and all that. But in the original Gilmore Girls, the camera was kind of hazy and kind of not crisp and not clear. It's kind of like standard hazy type of thing. It's kind of a criticism, I guess, with this show, at least with this episode. But yeah, it's kind of. I wish the camera work was more like that, because it would feel a little bit more, you know, better, I guess. Feel more like Gilmore Girls in this new series, I guess. The camera work and all that. But Michelle hasn't changed at all. I mean, he's the exact same. I almost forgot to mention him. Michelle, there you go. What's good about it is that the cameos, there's other cameos in here from other characters, but they are short. They don't make a huge thing about it. Again. So they don't make a big huge deal about the cameos, you know. I think the Asian girl's mother, I don't remember the Asian girl or her mother's names, but she shows up for like 30 seconds, and then I think she shows up for like 30 seconds. The Asian girl kind of just like shows up kind of in there, kind of like there for like 3 minutes, I guess, in the entire episode, and that's it, really. The jokes still hit. They seem like a regular Gilmore Girls skit, I guess. They're funny, and the drama hits too. It's a classic mixture of the two, and they're combined in such a way. It's like a yin-yang type of thing, and I enjoy it, really. I enjoyed this episode. It reminded me a lot of Gilmore Girls from the past, and that's what it's supposed to do. There's a smell show reference that I thought was pretty good. And, there's a smell show reference that I thought was pretty good. There's a singer. You remember sometimes in an episode there's like people stringing guitars and like do da 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 do da da do 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 dee la 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 la, you know? They make a joke about it, and I thought it was pretty funny, where there was a woman just singing strumming the thing, and it's like the guy chases after him. Is like, no, this is my area. You don't play in my area. I cracked up at that, man. That was pretty good. You see, they're making fun of themselves a little bit too, because, yeah, honestly, we know we're white. We know that this is a very, very white show. And we're going to mess around with that. We're going to embrace ourselves with being this type of show, but we're also going to make fun of ourselves too, and I like that. And yeah, I think that's it. That's like all my good, I guess, and it's very good. I highly, highly love this show, this episode. So now let's get into a little bit of the bad, and there's a little bit of bad here. In the beginning, it seems a little bit more clunky, you know, trying to get in there. It seems more staged. It seems like a Netflix show where the camera work and all that I already mentioned. In the beginning, when they're first in Lorelai's house, they kind of have a hard time keeping the camera stable. I don't know why. I saw it shake a little bit. It was kind of weird, and kind of made me It's not that noticeable, I don't think, but still, it kind of messed around my eyes a little bit. I don't know this for a fact, but I think the marketing for this... I remember a commercial for this show where Richard was in the show and he's dead. The marketing kind of... I think the marketing kind of screwed up there. But with Richard being gone, that... I think they handled it pretty well because the actor actually did die. So I think they respected him. I think they did it very well. He's a big premise in the movie, in the show. It's feature length. It's pretty much a movie. His presence is still seen in the show, even though he's not there, which I highly commend them for. Again, this is bad. You see, there's not a lot of bad in this show, really. I don't understand why Lorelai and Luke are not married. I mean, it's been like over 10 years, I think, since the show ended. So, why aren't they still married? Why are they married? Why are they just living together still after 9 years? 9 to 10 years. You would think that after 9 to 10 years, they would eventually have gotten married by now. Maybe it'll be explained later in the season, but yeah, man, I don't know. But anyway, this episode is fan-freaking-tastic. Honestly, I'll probably watch more of this show, honestly. This is a fantastic show. So far, it brought back a lot of the stuff I loved about the original series. And it brought some kind of... the new stuff kind of was hit or miss for me. Although I did love Kirk. Kirk was the main focus, really. A big presence in this show. And yeah, I love Kirk. Thank you for putting Kirk as the main, kind of one of the main focuses of the show in the first episode, kind of hitting it off with a bang, I guess. And yeah, there's also another thing that I kind of want to mention that was kind of bad. They didn't have the theme song. And the theme song is kind of, I thought, was one of their main focal points of the show. It's kind of weird, you know? I kind of want to see the theme song. And it was a weird transition, you know, too. It's with this weird font. That is not Gilmore Girls, it's like a Netflix thing. But again, it is a Netflix show now, so take it for what you will. Alright guys, that's it for my ER in a car of Gilmore Girls A Year in the Life Winter. So next up is spring, okay? Check that out. Check that out. Subscribe to the channel. Get notified, okay? Get notified when I get this new thing.